Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is a good day because we're having a video. We're gonna have a little chat.
God, you call me by my name. The love you give me, I just can't deny. Yeah. No longer blinded, I can see.
So hopefully you guys are doing good. If you clicked into this video, you already know what this video is about. I hate when intros are like dragged out or whatever, so let's get into that video. Today we're gonna jump into a topic that I'm pretty sure is close to every entrepreneur's heart. Honestly, the topic of staying motivated as an entrepreneur is everything, because every entrepreneur is going to experience some type of setbacks, some type of failure, some type of letdown, and some type of maybe just disappointment in general. So I want to talk because this is something that I feel like I've been experiencing, especially in this year of business. Things were great the first couple of years. So thankful to God for all of the opportunities and all of the good things that were happening, but I really needed coaching, and I really needed, just to hear some wisdom about how to deal when things just weren't working out the way that I intended them to work out. Let's talk about it. So tip number 1 is staying within your purpose. So what does that mean? That means that you started initially because you had a why. You had a reason that you were wanting to do this in the first place. If you wanted to become an entrepreneur, maybe you wanted to become an entrepreneur because you wanted to impact somebody's life, you wanted to bring your products and solutions. Maybe you had a personal reason. You wanted to know that you could achieve and that you could be someone that is able to create legacy or create financial streams for your family, someone who is able to look beyond, maybe a typical 9-to-5 and say, look, I can do better than this. I can make better use of my potential and of my talents and my skill sets. Maybe you just wanted to be an entrepreneur because you just wanted to try it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever is your reason, whatever is the reason that you started and got started on this journey in the first place, you really want to hold tight and cling tight to that thing. So when you have a clear sense of purpose and you understand why you're doing something, you understand why you're pushing so hard to accomplish this is going to help you when times get tough. It's going to help you when things start to feel like it's not making sense anymore. It's going to be a compass for you. You need to do it for that reason. You need to continue doing it for that reason. You need to write down what your why is. Actually, get a piece of paper out right now. Stop the video, pause the video, and take some time and write down your why, or type up your why so that you can print it out and you can keep it with you when the days get tough, because I promise you there will be tough days, but you are made for this. Number 2, a huge thing when it comes to remaining motivated, staying motivated as an entrepreneur, is embracing failure. So in this season, the last couple of months, I've experienced some crazy things within business, within life in general, because with business, it seems as though you might only have to juggle business. You might only have to juggle the tasks that have to do with you becoming a better business owner. But a lot of the times you're gonna be juggling life, you're gonna be juggling friendships, relationships, a significant other, maybe you have kids, maybe you have school, maybe you have another job or a 9-to-5 that you are actually working at the same time. And life starts to happen and failure starts to butt its head, and you start to begin to feel like, I'm defined by the failure. I'm defined by the things that are happening to me. But that is not the case, guys. I had to learn the hard lesson through failure, through surrendering, through embracing, through just going through the process of failure and learning what worked and what didn't work, getting rejected, getting, a no in a sales call, whatever the case may be. I realized that failure is only a lesson learned. But the biggest thing, you're gonna hear like failure is a lesson learned, if you never lose, you just learn, things like that, right? But the feeling and the gut punch or the throat punch or the black eye that you get when you fail, that feeling, that lingering, atmosphere that comes when you fail and when you don't do what you thought you were gonna do, or, you didn't accomplish what you thought you were going to accomplish in business, your sales goal was not met, whatever the case may be, you didn't get the amount of leads, you didn't close on the big deal that you thought that you were going to get and it was going to set your whole entrepreneur journey all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't get it. And that feeling comes, those emotions come, and you start to feel like that's defining you. So I want to speak to the emotion and that moment when you actually fail, when you're looking failure in the face and you're like in the moment, and you might be crying, you might be laying on the floor, you might just decide, look, I'm gonna go take a nap. Whatever you do when you fail, I'm speaking to that place and that time, that season in you. And I'm wanting to say to you, what's gonna need to take place before you start to see failure as a lesson learned is the mindset and the mental stamina to be able to tell yourself that this is a lesson, and to be able to look failure in the face and say, you are a lesson and I'm gonna learn from you. Instead of saying, man, this sucks, da 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 da, because your mind is gonna find every reason to not believe that it's a lesson. Your mind is gonna find every reason to start to think that you shouldn't even be doing this. Your mind is gonna find every reason to quit, especially if you have a natural tendency to quit. In the past, you've quit things. In the past, you threw in the towel very early or very soon. Your mind is gonna tell you, look, this is not working for you. You shouldn't do this. You're not made for this. You're not cut out for this. You don't have a skill set for this. You know, but the people who are successful, they were able to look failure in the face and say, no, you do not define me. This will not define me. I'm going to get up tomorrow and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to get up and I'm going to continue to move forward. And this does not define me. This loss does not define me. I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to write down. I'm going to take note of what I could have done better, because I am becoming better after every single season. From every single day, I'm creating the life that I want to live, and I'm going to emotionally and mentally get the fortitude and the stamina to be able to endure what I have to endure so I can get to the other side. You're not gonna feel initially that this failure is a lesson. Initially it's gonna hurt, initially it's gonna sting, initially it's gonna suck. Like, it's gonna suck, y'all. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, because I needed somebody to tell me in their process that this sucks, but you can keep going. This sucks, but you can keep doing this. You are made for this. And you might not feel like you were made for it, but you were absolutely made for it. Like, if you even chose to be an entrepreneur, 10 out of 10, you're crazy, and you just get a rise out of taking risk. And it is what it is, and that's okay. There's other weirdos like you out there. I'm one of them. And so if you're an entrepreneur, if you chose to be an entrepreneur, if you desire to be an entrepreneur, you are already in there, and you just have to build the muscle of learning to take failure as a lesson. Embrace it, because the better you learn to embrace failure, the more you learn to experience rejections, failures, losses, the faster you're gonna learn, the faster you're gonna grow, but you have to learn from it. So goals are like milestones to us. So if you find yourself maybe feeling unmotivated, it's possible that you are not meeting any milestones or smaller goals that you have within your larger goals, and maybe haven't broken them down to the capacity where it seems like you're actually moving forward. If you're anything like me, then you need to see progress. You need to see that you're actually progressing in the goals and in the journey that you have for yourself. YouTube has been a very hard platform for me to learn, if I could be just transparent about it, because it does not come with instant gratification, and that's okay. I had to learn, like, it just taught me a different muscle. Like, Jannika, don't expect instant gratification. Don't expect things to come easily for you. This is the age of social media, and sometimes you can get in the thick of something and think that you're entitled to a result just because you started, but that's not always the case. Sometimes you gotta double down, sometimes you gotta do more work, sometimes you gotta get in the lab and you gotta do more work, more shots, shoot more, get rejected more, fail more than anybody else in order to accomplish the goals that you have for yourself. And so when it comes to, you know, staying motivated, a big thing that I like to do is to set smaller goals within my larger goals. So that means get good at breaking down the larger goals that you have. It's gonna help you feel like you're moving and progressing. So set meaningful goals, set goals that are bite-sized that you can actually get through, and then pay attention to the progress that you're making on those goals that you have. So this piece of advice is something that I learned the hard way as well this year. Been learning a bunch of things this year, and I wanted to just really spill and share with you guys some of the things that I have been learning, because these are things that I feel make you a great entrepreneur. These type of characteristics make you someone that is able to get over certain hurdles to accomplish the things that you want for yourself. Like, I've really come to understand that entrepreneurship, that there's two different types of people. There's an entrepreneur and then there's everybody else. Like there's people who are successful and then there's everybody else. There's people who have to demand higher from themselves, demand a certain standard of work and excellence from themselves. And then there's people who just, they are okay with getting by, you know, and it's no knock against anyone else, but entrepreneurs think different. People who want to be successful think different. They rise to the occasion. They don't just stay where they are. Once they see that they are not within standard, once they see that they are not operating at their highest potential and highest level, they do what it takes in order to be better and to get better results from themselves. So, you know, it's really important that we have good self-reflection to understand that, you know, we have to rise to the occasion. We have to do better. We have to want more from ourselves. And sometimes that lack of motivation is just your past self or your lower self telling you like, hey, let's give up, let's quit, like we always do. But to be quite honest, if you give up just because you're not motivated, that just means you're not disciplined enough to stay the course, regardless if your feelings or emotions tell you to stay the course or not. You gotta be able to get up. You have to be able to push yourself, to tell yourself, look, no matter what we're feeling, whether that's physical, whether that's emotional, we're gonna keep moving, we're gonna keep pressing. And you do have to take breaks. You do need to take time to like get yourself together. You do need to pour back into yourself just as much as you take away. But the grind is constant. It's a constant grind. It's a constant battle. It's a constant fighting, clawing to get to your next level and telling your old self, telling your previous self, or even your current self sometimes, telling your current self like, look, we are rising up. This is what we used to do. We're not doing that anymore. I'm sorry. I know the flesh is gonna be crying out. I know I'm gonna be crying through this process, but we're gonna get through it and get what we need to get, and we're gonna go where we need to go, period. So surrounding yourself with positivity is a huge thing, because you can have a lot of people who maybe you could once hang out with or be around because your mental and emotional and your desire, your internal desire for where you wanted to be in life was very similar to theirs. But once you get into a place where you start thinking and wanting more for yourself, there's certain people that you just won't be able to relate to anymore. You won't be able to relate to complainers. You won't be able to relate to people who don't want as much money and don't see the need for hustling and don't see the need for working as hard as you do. I know people are trying to cancel hustling right now, but there is still a need to do well and to do more. This is not to burn out, but hustling and burning out is different, to me at least. When I played ball, I had hustle. That meant that if I was down, I'm hustling to get back up. That meant that if I knew that the team that I was playing against was maybe a little bit better than our team as the point guard, I would hustle, because I knew like, you're gonna have to do more. You're gonna have to claw at this in order to get to the soft life, quote unquote, that you want and that you desire. You see a lot of people that are living the soft life, but you don't see their day-to-day behind the scenes, them putting out fires, them demanding discipline from themselves, them crying through obstacles and breaking through things that they once used to do, but they no longer allow themselves to do, breaking through toxic habits and breaking away from toxic people and toxic mindsets. I just wanna let everybody know on here, and I'm pretty sure you might know already, but I'm just gonna, you know, say it, because everything that you hear on social media, take it with a grain of salt, including what I'm saying. Everyone is not right on social media. Like, everybody is not successful. So surround yourself with positivity. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who believe in your vision. They're not jealous of you. They're not gonna compromise your time by adding to you to do things that they can do for themselves. They are goal-oriented like you. They are success-driven like you. There's nothing wrong with you. I know people are gonna try to tell you there's something wrong with you because you're hungry, because you want more for yourself and for your family. But I'm here to tell you that that's not the case. People don't like to be around people who challenge them. Challenge them in the truth, challenge them in their faith, challenge them in their walk, anything. Anything. People don't like to be challenged. People like their comfort zones, and they will do whatever they can to stay in them. You're breaking out of your comfort zone right now. That's what makes you different. And so when you get around people who are similar to you, you will feel the difference. You will feel the flow. Like, you're not gonna feel all of the resistance, and you're gonna feel like, man, I'm around people who actually think like me. Finally. That's the type of positivity you want in your life. People like me, keep watching these videos. Just kidding. Not really, but just kidding. So this is a huge one. Self-care and balance. And I just talked about really positioning yourself so that you can work hard so that you can have the life that you want. Because the hard work is gonna come before the soft life. It just is. Self-care and self-balance is really good. So things that I incorporate for self-care and balance is typically, you know, journaling, taking a long bath at the end of the day, something that is going to refresh me but not deplete me. Sometimes I'll even watch like back to back, I'll batch watching like shows like that I really like, that make me laugh, that fill me up, that make me feel like I can do this. Life is happening. I'll binge watch shows on Netflix. I will have myself a treat. I'll buy myself lunch. I'll go buy myself coffee because most of the time I make coffee from home. So there's just different things that I do to kind of keep myself refreshed. I'll exercise when I can. I will go get my hair done, go get my nails done if I can. And you know, it's really cool to incorporate things that cost money maybe to your self-care and balance, but then also things that don't cost money, like spending time with friends, spending time with family doesn't cost money. Watching Netflix or TV at home, or making yourself a dessert or something like that. Doing something that is therapeutic to you, not necessarily taken away from you, but refreshing you and making you feel like I can keep going because I'm refueling and I'm refilling instead of just taking, pushing, discipline. I've even heard someone say, if you have, I think it was Layla Hormonzi that said, if you have 5 days of discipline, go 2 days without discipline. And I thought that was really cool because oftentimes we think we have to be extremist when it comes to life and when it comes to everything that we're doing, but you can actually just take a break. Just take a day where you are not doing anything that requires discipline from you on your part. So I thought that was really good. So I don't know what number of what we're doing we're on because I'm not following my notes. I'm like getting excited and like jumping around. But celebrating wins is a huge one. I don't know if y'all are like me. But for me, when I first started the entrepreneur journey, which was a couple years ago, I had a hard time celebrating wins and I think I didn't have a good time or an easy time celebrating wins because I didn't always see them as wins. Some of them, I honestly was just like, I'm just not where I want to be. And that kind of created a negativity because I was not able to even celebrate the good things, the things that weren't even happening for me before, but they were now happening, like getting clients, getting leads. I wasn't excited about how much money they were paying me at the time because I was like, I'm seeing all these people online, on social, in real life. They're hitting huge milestones, huge revenue goals that they've had. And the thing is with that is you don't know how long these people have really been going and how long they've been hustling for. And you should never dictate how you celebrate your success based on someone else's success around you. And that was a hard thing for me to adopt and to grasp, which it was, look, you're gonna have to celebrate where you are. You're gonna have to be excited about where you are in your process because your process is not everybody else's process. Your journey is not everybody else's journey. And if you never celebrate the good things that are happening for you, you'll start to think that nothing's really happening for you. So I started celebrating like hardcore. Like I'm gonna get a cake. I'm gonna go out to eat. I'm going to get a candle and blow it out because I hit this huge milestone. Like you really have to hype yourself up because no one else is going to. And you might have people in your life that celebrate you, but once you start taking your own milestones and your own goals and your own little wins and celebrations more seriously, other people will start to catch on and be like, wow, she's actually doing something. Like it might not seem like a lot to other people initially when you're doing things, but the way you hype yourself up, the way that you celebrate yourself and the way that you even celebrate what God is doing in you, legit, like celebrating what is happening for you, other people will start to take note, and then other people will start to celebrate you too. They're like, oh, Jannika hit another milestone. Typically, I'm seeing people sending her flowers, even if it was you that sent the flowers. Hello. Even if it was you that sent your own flowers to your doorstep, send them flowers, buy that cake, blow out that candle, post it online, celebrate your success and achievements, because if nobody's talking about it and nobody's celebrating it, it's almost as if it didn't happen. And that's real. That's us being real. So it's important that you celebrate those things, because a lot of times you might think that nothing is really going on or happening for you, but the moment that you start celebrating it and putting it at the forefront of your mind and making it a moment, it will become special for you, and you'll begin to feel the progress. You'll begin to feel the movement. You'll begin to feel motivated unto the next goal. So it's important to continue to do things like that for yourself, or if you haven't started doing things like that for yourself, it's important to start doing those things, because you want to start feeling the joy of the passion and the purpose that you have, not just the struggle, not just the pain, not just the gruesome, years of going after something. And this is a great one as well. You want to visualize success. Now, I'm not really huge into, just different practices that are outside of my faith and my grounding when it comes to spirituality, but I will envision success for myself. There was a book that I read called The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, or Highly Effective People, I believe, by Stephen Covey. And that book was talking about conditioning, and it also talked about visualization and perception at the very beginning of the book. And those parts really stuck out to me, because I was reading a lot of different books at the time about self-help and self-development, personal development, and a lot of the books were saying that you have to visualize success before it ever happens for you. Like, you have to see yourself in the house. You have to see yourself with $1 million. You have to see yourself doing all the things that you believed for yourself. And one of the practices in the book was like a visualization of someone who was in prison. They were in prison and they were visualizing that they would be free. And eventually they became free. At the time that they were doing the visualization, there was talk that they would never become free, but they never allowed their mind to be trained by the lack of hope, or the lack of faith, or the lack of vision. They always trained their mind, even in prison, even in suffering, to have vision for the future. And so I want to leave you with this, is to always visualize what is possible for the future. Even if someone says that that is impossible, that there's no way you're going to be able to accomplish that, I really want you to lean into the fact that you are not them. You don't have their belief system. You have your own belief system. You believe in yourself, and that you're able to accomplish whatever you put your mind to. If you visualize it, if you think about it, if you dream about it. But don't just dream about it. Go get it. Go get it. Because you can do it. You could achieve more. It is possible for you. I'm doing things that I never thought that I would do, because I believe that I could. And once I believed that I could, once I matched my vision with what was possible for me, then I was able to step into those things. But if I continued to have a limiting belief or a limited vision about what was possible for me, then I would never break out and never be able to accomplish what I am now able to accomplish. So I hope you guys liked these tips, and I hope you guys internalize these tips. Take them with you. I hope they're helpful for you. Please let me know in the comments below if you like this video, and give us a subscribe and thumbs up if you did as well. Check us out in the next video, and love you guys. Talk to you soon.